Welcome to our Uni-Vibe series.
In this series, we're going to share with you Uni-Vibes from some of our favorite manufacturers.
And maybe we'll figure out, does the drive go before or after a vibe? Today we're going to look at the real vibe from RFO Electronics. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. Your interaction with us helps us interact with great people in the industry. In this case, RFO, from a relationship we've forged with them from other series, and you tell me about what we're going to do.
Yeah, so RFO came into the whole picture with the Electro series, and one of the modules he sent us was a Vibe module. Mm-hmm. And then that turned into his pretty recent pedal, the Waterfall, which is a Uni-Vibe, which is really cool. Pedal board friendly and all that.
Price point friendly.
Price point, 9-volt adapter. But today we're going to look at the big boy, right? We're going to look at the real vibe. And I think it's named appropriately because he really, some painstaking effort to base this on one of those original Uni-Vibes. 24-volt adapter. So it's running on a high voltage thing. Apparently that's pretty important. Mm-hmm. So he actually sends you an adapter for that with it. Although you could do it off of pedal power if you got creative with it. 2 12-volts put together.
Jump them.
Right, things like that. So, on this pedal, cool features, we have a level knob, volume. We have
depth. Yeah,
depth. I always want to think intensity or depth. It's labeled depth here, and then you have a speed. There's also a switch to go from chorus to vibrato mode. One of the things that I never really understood the importance of until recently is it has a bypass switch, but it also has a cancel switch or button, whatever you want to call it. So you turn it on, you have your Uni-Vibe. If you hit the cancel button, it turns off the swirly, but it leaves the pedal on, so you're still using the preamp of the pedal.
Right.
And if you think about the way people run Uni-Vibes, often it's often one of the first things in your rig. So you can juice that volume knob, juice that preamp a little bit, and it's almost like a boost in front of your rig. It's really, really cool. We'll show you it in a bit.
Because I don't think it's true bypass, and that's one of the reasons that's on there.
Yeah. So I think the first place to start is let's just take a Fender Stratocaster, this one, and run it straight into the Uni-Vibe. No drive, no fuzz, maybe a touch of delay from our Echo Tour from DLS Effects into the Tyler and see what it sounds like.
So on this next clip, as you saw in our opening to this series, we're like, does the drive go before or after? And I stuck with after on this particular one, and I used the Pedal Pond Texas Twang. It is a loving recreation of the Tone Ranger, I believe, by DS. Mm-hmm. I ran this after the Vibe. I had the Vibe in the Vibrato, though. I decided to go that direction with the pedal. This is what it sounded like. How does this happen? The reverb on the Tyler's been off all night, which is just totally bizarre. So it tells you how good the modulation on this must sound for us to take a whole night of before we realized that the reverb's off. Anyway, part of the series, we want to twist the knobs a little bit to give you an idea of their range. So I think we're going to start with speed. Clean tone, we're playing. Yeah. Silver Sky through the Tyler JT22 with the reverb on and the DLS Echo Tour.
here we go. I really liked it down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I always tend to I really want to hear the effect and everything,
right.
But it's almost like when we were at 2 or 3, I was like, wow, where's this going to go?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like it almost reminded me. I don't know if this is right, but like more of a sine wave on that side. And then as we went to that side, it seemed to get a little more choppy.
Maybe.
Really quick, if you play that one more time, I'll do it. I'll let you go through it once low, and then we'll crank it way up. So it's still pretty deep over there. It's just, it's not, maybe the valleys aren't as deep or something.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets throbby, and that's still, we have the speed, which we'll do next, but the depth.
All right, let's do the speed.
Yeah.
So... Can we flip it over to the vibrato side real quick and just play a couple chords? So
go grab some Dramamine.
Yeah. I like that though.
Yeah, I can get to some pretty spacey places with the speed up and the depth up, especially on the vibrato because it's all effect.
So one thing we haven't talked about is the level. If we turn the level all the way off, it goes silent. So it's really like a volume. But I think what the better than twisting that knob is showing you the cancel feature. So if I hit the cancel button, we turn the pedal, we turn off the vibe part of the pedal.
Right.
So as Pat plays clean here, I'll just go back and forth between turning the pedal on and off, the bypass with the cancel off. So it's not going to click in the vibe part, but you are going to hear that preamp part. And then I might even click on the drive and do it again with the drive so you can hear that too.
All right.
it's not bad without going into the drive at all, is it?
It's it's a subtle boost-ish, if you will.
Yeah. So we have 2 more clips to share with you. For the second clip I did, we have off camera there, Barber Electronics direct drive.
Be custom.
Good figure. And I took the Paul's guitar, the PRS Paul's guitar, the SE, ran into that. And since in the beginning of this video we didn't use our standard bumper, I played it.
For my last clip, I thought, well, what if you put a drive in front of the Uni-Vibe, the real Vibe? And I had it back on the chorus, so more of a standard setting for the real Vibe. I partnered it with the special cranker from Earthquaker Devices, and I used this 2003 Les Paul Classic that was lovingly rewired by David Barber into a magic tone machine, and I played this. That's the real Vibe from RFO Electronics. Let's go to final thoughts. What do you think? I enjoyed this pedal. I find it funny that every time I use any type of modulation, I end up making it sound like a chorus or a tremolo. But there were some home basses in here for me, and there were some also ones that were a little bit outside. The way it throbs a little bit is different than what I would do, and I like it. Like I'd be honest with you, some of the other Vibes I've plugged into before, I felt like they kind of sucked the tone a little bit, and I found this one to be pretty warm. And I don't know if that's the 24 volt, which makes the internal components run at 20 volts and maximizes them or not, but didn't have a hard time dialing up sounds or playing. And what we wanted to play, that took a little while. That was us trying to figure it out. But the pedal itself, I thought it's pretty simple. I do like the little bypass piece of it. I say little, like this little tiny thing, but it's a really good take, I think, on a Vibe, especially compared to some of the other ones I've tried.
Yeah, for me, Uni-Vibe was always my favorite effect, and it was always like, well, we're gonna save that series for way down the road until we know what we're doing a little bit more. And we started with the Leslie Sound series, which became one of my favorite effects. So it's been a while since I played with Uni-Vibes, and it was nice to sit down and then do that. I think it sounds great, like you said. I want to play with it more because as the night goes on, especially when we got into twisting knobs, I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have kept turning that depth up so much. I like some of the more subtle,
yeah.
Like it doesn't go away. It's still there. It's just a little, it's not as hard. And so, I'm going to spend some more time with it. The other thing I really like about it, like you said, is the cancel feature. I just didn't even understand why that was important. Right. I totally get it now. It makes me want to take this and just set it off. Imagine that. It makes me want to take it, put it first thing my guitar goes into before everything else, set off to the side of my pedal board. Never seen anybody do that before.
Right.
Right. And now I get why all those guys have those big Uni-Vibe pedals sitting off to the side of their board that aren't on the board, aren't pedal board. It doesn't matter because they want I think a lot of it has to do with that cancel feature. So
congratulations on him building an always-on pedal. Always on, always want to be on your board pedal. That's, I think it's every builder's goal.
Yeah. So, cool stuff. We always take a minute just to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. If you do, click a notification bell, leaving comments, hitting like. Anytime you interact with the channel, like Pat said in the beginning, that's what helps us form these relationships with guys like Jeff from RFO Electronics, and we really appreciate that. With that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear.